Traditionally, I'm going to tell about attack simulation, and in this particular presentation, I'm going to highlight how to use like well-known and the word that becomes a buzzword, Log4Shell exploit, Log4Shell vulnerability for supply chain attack simulation. So why Log4Shell? So because according to the report from one of the vendors, more than 90% of cloud-based solutions, they are susceptible to this exploit. So they have this Log4j library, in particular Log4j core, which has a version less than 2.16.0, and that is why you can actually take almost any cloud-based application and try to exploit. Of course, since the release, which happened, I believe, in December on December 9, so it's going to be next slide. Yes, since that time, many vendors and the software products have been updated and successfully patched this vulnerability, but still, because there are plenty of products and solutions they were affected by this vulnerability. Still, the process of patching is underway. So what is Log4Shell? So I just copied brief information about Log4j vulnerability from Wikipedia, and it tells that this is a zero-day vulnerability in Java framework, and it allows remote code execution. I'm going to show a little bit later just a small demo where I want to show that it's extremely easy to use to exploit this particular vulnerability and run the attack simulation. So it was discovered, as you can see, by Chen Jianjun from Alibaba Cloud Security, and it was disclosed on December 9 last year, and Apache gave the highest possible rating equal to 10. So I haven't seen like many vulnerabilities that were rated as high as 10. And because this high rate can be explained that it's according to risk rating methodology employed by for rating CVs, the risk rating is calculated as a product of impact and likelihood. So impact, because it is possible for an attacker to execute arbitrary code, and any code. It can be a shell script, or they can even download the file and use this executable files in the attack. And likelihood, because as I mentioned, like more than 90% of cloud-based services, they were susceptible to this attack. So it's extremely likely, and the impact is very high. That's why we have this 10 score for this vulnerability. And finally, you can see that Amazon Web Services and Cloudflare, iCloud, Minecraft, probably you have seen the video how the ethical hackers, they hack the outdated version of Minecraft server, and how they execute arbitrary code. So I would recommend to watch these videos, and it's quite entertaining and fun to understand so how bad it is to have this vulnerable application. So here is just small video showing how to exploit. I believe for those who already watched this exploitation techniques, so there will be nothing interesting, but for the rest of the audience, I think it will make it clear and explain how this vulnerability can be exploited. So first, let's just do it in a slow motion. So we have the first part here, which is called Log4J RC. This is the malicious code that is going to be executed as a result of the successful attack, as a result of successful exploitation of this vulnerability. So I want so you can create your own cyber kill chain and download or execute whatever you want. So in this particular RC Java application, I want to download some Python files. So the purpose of this attack is to execute ransomware simulator, but not by the user, but use this Java basic Java application to run ransomware simulator. To do that, I need to download a couple of Python files to the target machine, and that is why I have here one download that is going to be saved as a file on the target machine. Then I have another one, which is a PowerShell script, which is just simple wrapper for my Python application. And it's going to be also saved to some users folder on the target machine. The target machine, as you can see, it's a Windows server. Then a couple more Python files that I need to execute my simulator. And yeah, that's it. Finally, I need to run it. So I will execute a PowerShell script that will in turn starts my Python ransomware simulator written in Python. Let's go further. So the second part here is, so I want to run some application. What I called is observer. So this application in console will trace the behavior of any application in some target folder and detect ransomware behavior. So it's not a mandatory step, but just to show you that it is possible to test both offensive and defensive capabilities. So I started here ransomware detector, and just going one step back. So here we have simple Java server or simple Java application that downloads using JNDI, Java name and directory interface, if I'm not mistaken, from LDAP server. And here I can specify my RC Java code. So in real life attack, this is done usually with the help of some variable that is sent using available interfaces, for example, as some web UI input, and then this string, this variable as a part of the string is evaluated by Log4j, a core library, and this is how this command or pass to LDAP server is executed. But I just wanted to make it clear and transparent for this demo, and that is why I just hard-coded this particular string that is just added to the log. And also you can see in the log file, in the login area, you can see that the Log4j library, the logger, just printed error with my string, which was evaluated before. So what is the result of such exploitation? So if we take a look at the folder here, I had some test files, and as a result of exploitation, ransomware simulator was executed and encrypted the file. So I showed it during the previous town halls, so how ransomware simulator works. And finally, so the main purpose of this demo is to show that actually you don't need to run you don't need to run this exploit. You don't need to run ransomware simulator manually, but you can just leverage the exploit and execute it through some arbitrary Java application. You can create your own, like basic Java server or just simple Java application, or you can leverage already existing, probably not latest versions, of course, some outdated versions vulnerable to this attack, such as Minecraft server, and use it in your attack simulation, in your anti-malware testing activities. So that's it. And to sum up, the benefits of using this Log4Shell vulnerability is first, there are plenty of software that are vulnerable, and you still can download the previous versions, vulnerable versions of the software, and use it, the software in your simulation, in your test, in your anti-malware test to simulate supply chain attacks. Then second thing is it's extremely easy to set up and execute such test scenarios. So as I showed, it's possible to download any scripts, any files you need for the attack, and all this will be done on behalf of some Java application. If you have some trusted Java application running on the target machine, then EDR solution will not detect it as a malicious activity. And finally, I often hear like argument that when you run simulation attacks, when you simulate attack, I have an argument that okay, that's a synthetic test scenario, and so it doesn't reflect like a real case attack or a real life scenario. But in this case, this exploit was discovered in the wild, and it was, I believe, by the way, it was already exploited by the attackers to execute ransomware, real ransomware. And I think that can be considered as a real life scenario. And if you choose to use like real Java application vulnerable that contain this vulnerability, then it will look even closer to the real life scenario. So that's the idea of using Log4Shell for supply chain attack simulation. So I'm interested to hear your opinion. So do you find it useful for anti-malware testing, and can we consider it as a good test scenario for anti-malware products?